next guest's age, I have the same attitude and outlook, and that I'm flying off to Vegas on my birthday.
He just celebrated his 76th New Year's working with the Dal Richards Orchestra. He, of course, is Dal Richards, joining us now. How are you, Dal? Happy New Year, first of all.
Happy New Year. I'm great. How are you? How are you guys?
Good.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see
do you
you too.
remember what it's like to not work on New Year's?
No, I would get the twitch, I think.
Well, it's a funny thing, because for most people, that's the night when you don't want to have anything to do. You don't want to have any responsibility. You want to go out and play. And yet, for 76 straight years, you've made the choice to work.
Well, there's an old saying in the music business: if you don't work New Year's Eve, sell your horn.
So how was this New Year's Eve for you? Was it fun?
We're a sellout at the River Rock, as we have been for the last few years. That's our New Year's Eve home now.
Yeah.
And how was your birthday? You just turned 93, and I hear that your wife had a very special surprise for you. What happened?
Muriel. She sure did. The morning of my birthday, I was having coffee, and she says, "Get dressed, shave, and we got to get going." I said, "What do you mean you got to get going? It's 9 o'clock in the morning." And so I did, and we take the SkyTrain, first of all, then the train out to the River Rock.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, oh, we're going to party at the River Rock, because we were offered a sweet New Year's Eve, which we didn't take advantage of. So I thought.
So you thought she was going to take advantage of it then?
But no, that wasn't it. We kept going. We went to the airport. Now the plot thickens. So we're at the airport. She walks up to the counter and she presents 2 tickets to Vegas to the receptionist there. Off we go to Vegas, and she booked it particularly to see one show. It's called Frank Sinatra Dances. Well, it's the Sinatra tapes of his vocals, and accompanied by a 17-piece orchestra live.
Oh, wow.
And the Tyler Tharp dancers.
Wow.
17. It's just a beautiful show.
Well, and the theaters that they build in Vegas, I was just down there a while ago, and it's unbelievable. The sound, the seating.
I've never heard Sinatra like that before. You know, there's such a great sound system.
Yeah.
And of course, all the accoutrements was the live orchestra.
all the dancers.
Yeah, all the dancers.
So did you have a good birthday then?
It was a great birthday party.
Now, we were chatting with you. We bumped into you at the Children's Wish Foundation event that you were at, and we were talking about the Olympics. And you said that carrying the torch was one of your favorite moments. Tell us a little bit about what that was like.
Well, it had to be one of the thrills of my life, and no question about that. And I thought, I'm not going to fail on this thing. I'm going to jog. I'm not going to walk. I'm going to jog. So I was in training for about 6 weeks. I'd get out in the morning and jog in a park near where we live, and Livingston Park, and do it again in the evening. I jogged to Muriel's office, and we both jogged home. So I was ready. But they threw a curve at me at the last minute. They phoned and said, "Oh, by the way, we're not going to start on Robson Street, which was supposed to be my run. We're going to start on the ice rink, and you're going to be in the Zamboni, and you're going to be interviewed. And then you're going to run up the steps." I said, "Steps?
Oh, no.
Run up the steps? How many steps?" Well, I didn't know. Well, I went over and counted them, and there were 37.
You're kidding. So did you start training
That's before
on the
I got up to the street.
Yeah. so then the training changed a little bit as you went along. But it was such I mean, it's almost a year ago, and it's unbelievable to us that a year has passed, first of all. But I think one of the best moments I had during the whole Olympics is I was riding my bike home one day, and I happened to pass the torch, and I rode along with it, and I couldn't believe how powerful a symbol it was to see the actual Olympic torch.
You have nailed it. You know, I think that torch run aroused a patriotism in Canadians they didn't know they had.
Yeah. And I only saw it. I didn't even hold it now. I mean, to hold it and to be in the middle of that crowd.
It sits in front of my fireplace in my living room now.
Oh, does it really? Oh,
Yeah.
That's perfect. Now, not one to rest on his laurels. You have a new album coming out as well?
Yes, well, yes. That's It's not titled yet, but we're going into the studios in March. The last one we did in the CBC #1 studio about a year and a half ago, so
Great
it's time for a new one. So it's a follow-up to that. Dal Richards and Friends, One More Time.
One more time. And you also have a great thing coming up in June with the symphony. Tell us what you're doing with Bramwell Tovey.
Oh, I'm very thrilled about that. Bramwell and the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra and the Dal Richards Orchestra are presenting a show called Symphony Swing on June the 8th, which is a Wednesday. It'll be 8 o'clock Wednesday night. Be all my singers involved in my big band and, of course, the Symphony Orchestra. And we've had a couple of meetings, and I make a few suggestions to Bramwell, you know. A little bit left field. He said, "Great idea, Dal."
And away you go.
Good stuff.
Well, I mean, it's one thing, big band, but to have that symphony behind you, and not only that, but the Orpheum is just such an incredible venue as well. Things like that must really excite you. I mean, when you get that opportunity to really sort of branch out in the music as well.
When I think of, in the 30s, going down in the interurban after McGee High School on Friday afternoon to catch the vaudeville shows, and the step from there to here.
Not too bad,
It
Dal.
only took you 80 years, so. You know,
And your radio show is still going strong.
Oh, yes, and Dal's Place on AM 650 and 9 o'clock on Sunday evening.
yeah.
Dal's Place, where we take a nostalgic look at the sounds and times of the big bands and the unforgettable music of the 30s, 40s, 50s, and the 60s.
Well, and to have someone with such a depth of history and an understanding of the music, too, it's a pleasure to listen to and to not just hear the music, but to hear some stories
Thank
involved
you.
with it as well.
It's not work, it's love. You
Yeah.
know, I just enjoy it so much.
Well, I hope that I'm just
defines
like you when I'm 93, Dal. Happy belated birthday. Do you think we'll still be doing this?
Yes, I do. I think
too.
Forbes and I will still be working together when we're 93.
Okay, Dal's Place, as Dal just said, is Sunday nights at 9 o'clock on AM 650. And of course, we mentioned he'll be with the Vancouver Symphony Orchestra in June. Make sure that you check it out. You can go to Dal's website to find out all the information.
Always a pleasure, Dal. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.